It is Tuesday, July 21st, 2026. Welcome back to another edition of Baseball Today presented by T-Mobile. I am your host, Trevor Plouffe. Coach Trev, that is the fastest growing football influencer on the market. Silly
Wow.
Deportes, producer Dan along for the ride as well. Swill Nation, thank you for coming on, filling in. The audience always loves when you're on, so I'm happy that you're here. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. I know everyone is so nice in the comments always, and I really appreciate that because I love talking baseball, and sometimes like I got big shoes to fill when I fill in for one of you guys, so it means a lot. Yeah. How are you, Trev?
I don't know what
Ooh,
size shoe Chris Rose wears. I don't know.
I
You
don't know
shrink when
either.
you get older, like he does.
Really?
You know, in fact, Dan, I have a mission for you. He put a picture out of his feet last night.
Oh, he did.
So if we can get that up at some point during the show,
That's right. He did.
his shoes are crazy. He's like, I'll wait for the reveal, but like, you either got to be 95 to wear those shoes or like 20 and a fashion influencer, and he's neither of those things. He's more towards the
He's
former.
neither of those things.
It's Chris Rose. Dan's asking who this is. It's Chris Rose and his. It's on his Instagram.
Yes.
Talking shoes. Again, I appreciate you coming on. Let's get to the show, and as we always do, let's start with a tip of the cap, or I don't know what you're gonna do with that bandana, but this one's going to a guy out in your AL West, Yordan Alvarez. I think that if you follow the game at all,
Right.
you have nothing but admiration for what this guy can do at the plate. A 2-homer game last night, triple crown for the AL right now. Here's the stat line, Spill. You ready?
I'm ready.
324, 432 for the 1.083 OPS, 33 homers on the year, and 75 runs driven in already. Let's check out these homers.
His game tonight against the Blue Jays. It's smash towards the bullpen. Get ready. It's on the back of the bullpen. Yordan, back-to-back home runs. He's 3 for 3 with 2 bombs, and the bullpen goes crazy.
I just don't know what there is to say about this guy anymore. You know, I love Cuban ball players, and I love guys that he just rakes, Swill.
Right. That's all he does. Well, he rakes, but he's also hitting 324. So, like, I don't know. He just doesn't do anything but hit the ball and hit the ball hard. That sound off the bat is just, it gives it. I watched it probably 6 times because it just gives me chills. You know, this obviously, like, there are just some guys where they hit the ball and it sounds so different off the bat. And Yordan is one of those guys. He is a joy to watch. And it seems, hopefully, he's not stopping anytime soon. So he's at 100 games on the year so far, which is awesome to see.
So he's 29 years. Oh, there's the shoot. Okay. Oh, God. I mean, feet for free, by the way, Chris. He doesn't know anything about the internet, I guess.
No, he doesn't know a thing. Absolutely not. That poor guy.
Okay. You know, Chris, we're sending our love. He's up in Alaska, if you don't know, at a wedding, which is the craziest sentence I think I've ever said in my life.
I think so.
Although, shout out my cousin who lives out there in Alaska. Shout out Ryan Plouffe.
Okay.
Damn. On the career, Swill, going back to Yordan.
Yes.
He's hitting 300 on the dot, which you just don't see anymore. I mean, name the guys right now in the biggies that have a 300 career batting average. I think it's Yordan and Luis Ariz.
Yeah.
Like, who else has a 300 career batting average that has any significant time?
I mean, you could have said one other name probably 2 years ago, but not anymore, unfortunately.
Is Mike Trout like right underneath?
Yeah, I think he's probably
he's like 299, isn't he?
291.
Okay. What about Freddie Freeman?
Ooh, Freddie Freeman might be close.
He is a career 299.
Mm-hmm.
Freddie!
He's
got to go off just to raise it 1 point with the amount of bats that he has. Okay.
Right.
That's talking. Right. That's talking real ball. What's going on here? Yeah, more Chris Rose. And his beautiful wife, Michelle.
Of course.
He's just showing off now.
Well, of course.
But let's get to some ball. Okay. And we're going to start with the Windy City out there. The Cubs and the Tigers were going at it. The Cubs fought back from an early deficit. There were some big home runs. Suzuki, I believe the other one was Bush. And then our guy Happer with the game-tying shot in the 8th. I was watching this one live. They get bases loaded in the 9th. They walk PCA, the Tigers do. Alex Bregman comes up. He's got great numbers against Kenley. And then Kenley somehow finds a way. I mean, 3 straight balls, and then he gets back into the zone here. 3-1. Gets back into the zone here. 3-2. I think there's a foul ball.
Yeah.
And then he ties Bregman up to force the game into extras. The Tigers end up scoring 3 there in the 10th to take this game. It was a heck of a ball game to watch live. Nico Horner with an error here in the extra innings, which was definitely something you don't see too often. So a lot of that to ask this simple question here. And sorry, Tigers fans, we'll get to you. But first, we're going to talk Cubs with you, Swill. Cubs playing decently right now.
Yes.
But if you had to rank them, the Cubs are the blank team in the National League.
These questions are hard because you pigeonhole yourself to one answer, and then someone's gonna be upset.
Don't worry about them.
You know what? You're so right. You're so right. I think I have them ranked 5th out of 15. 5th out of 15 because, I don't know. I've always just kind of loved the Cubs. I don't know. I enjoy rooting for them. And I feel like that there are enough guys on this team that have either been steady or that have been not great as of late, but have had a good season overall, where I think that they can still really put it together and do some damage in the playoffs if they get there, which I think that they probably will. But yeah, I don't know. I think they're 5th. Obviously, we know PCA hasn't been that great as of late, but hopefully the trend of him having a bad second half doesn't continue. He's got to keep playing well. But I do think that they have to be active at the deadline. They don't really have a ton of starting pitching. But all of that to still say, I think that they're a good baseball team. So I have them ranked 5th out of 15. Okay.
Couple things here. I think PCA has actually been absolutely tearing the cover off the ball. He's been doing really well. So I think I like the offense.
He's been cold recently, no?
Let's go look it up. I'm pretty sure
I might be wrong. I might be wrong.
I like their offense. Although I agree with you, there's been some underachievers there so far. But I think by and large, I like their offense. Dansby, he had that big stretch of games. He really struggled early on. Ian Happ, I think he needs to get it going. Maybe this homer will help him. I think their offense is fine. We know about their defense. To me, it all comes down to the starting pitching and even the bullpen for them. I think there are a few pitchers, I'll say that, away from truly kind of finding their stride. And they've dealt with a ton of injuries. So sometimes it's just not on the roster building. It's just the health of the team.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to go a little bit lower than 5, Swill.
Okay.
Because I'm going to name the teams. They're not better than the Braves. They're not better than the Phillies. They're not better than the Brewers. That's for damn sure.
Right.
Best record in baseball right now. How about that?
Best record in baseball. That's right.
They're not better than the Dodgers. So there's your 4 teams I think that you probably had in front of them, right?
Yes.
Okay. So then it comes down to, where do you have them going up against the Marlins, who are trending down right now?
Yep.
Where do you have them up against the Snakes, who maybe are trending up right now? Padres and the Cardinals, and maybe even the Pirates. And now that I'm talking it out loud, it's 5 or 6. I think you nailed it. I'm trying to think if I'd put any of those teams in front of them right now. I think this team is flawed, though. I truly do. We talk about the National League like it's bulletproof, but I think the 5th best team is flawed. And I guess you can say that about the AL right now too. So I'll give them. I guess I'll agree with you and go 5. In my mind, I was gonna go maybe the Snakes in front of them, but gosh, they have the same kind of problem as the Cubs.
They do.
Where their starting pitching is just really not there.
Mm-hmm.
And the Marlins were on track to do it. And I think I might put the Marlins and Cubs same. How about that?
Really? Okay.
5A, 5B. I know they're trending down right now, but
yeah,
I think that they're I think they could be on the same level. Now, peak team, I'll go Cubs, but
yeah. I think that that's fair to put them close to one another. I would still probably take the Cubs over the Marlins, but the Marlins are such a fun ball club to watch. So yeah, that's fair. And for the record, I mean, it's a smaller sample size, but in the last 14 days, PCA's batting 184.
Okay. You nailed it.
But
You nailed
he's still getting on base, 326 on base. So
That's
not
been the
as
biggest
he has
difference.
been.
I'll tip my cap to you.
Yeah.
That's been the biggest difference for PCA is getting on base. Let's get to the second part of this question because we're going to do this again.
Mm-hmm.
Same question,
Mm-hmm.
but we're going to go with the Tigers.
That's
And
right.
we know the AL has, been mid, as the kids say. At best,
Good.
it's been mid. At best.
Good. Yeah, that was
where-
good, Trev. Mid. Yeah.
Thanks. Where do you have the Tigers ranked in the AL?
I would love it if you went first this time.
Okay. Let's name the teams I think are ahead of the Tigers.
Okay.
Rays are really heading in the wrong direction. Well, they won last night. Rays are ahead of the Tigers. The Yankees are ahead of the Tigers. I think the Red Sox are ahead of the Tigers. I think the White Sox are ahead of the Tigers. And that might be where I stop.
Wow.
Which is kind of crazy. And looking at you could say, okay, the Mariners are, I think, a similar team. And I always give them so much credit. And then their fans like, why are you giving us credit? We stink. Do you watch our team? Like, yeah, I watch your team.
Right.
Like, if Cal Raleigh gets going, if Josh Naylor gets going, I think that's obviously a big difference maker there.
Of course.
And then so it's like, they're still 6 games under 500. Do I really have them over Cleveland? In my mind, I kind of do, but then it's like Cleveland is just inevitable. So maybe I'll put Cleveland ahead of them. And then it's like, do you put them over my Twins? I think so right now. I hate saying that. Oh my God. I'll go 5th.
Wow. Okay.
5th in the and they're looking up, Swill. This is a team that's 4.5 games out of a wild card, looking up at a bunch of teams. But I think the way that they're playing and the way that if they keep everybody and they continue on this trend, I think they're going to find themselves in the playoffs.
Yeah, I think I agree with you, Trev. I have them at 6, but I could be swayed to say 5. I mean, yeah, they've been going in the right direction. The guys that weren't hitting the ball at the beginning of the year are finally hitting the ball. Riley Green has been so awesome for them as of late. Dylan Dingler has been awesome as well. Like, these guys that weren't really hitting the ball are finally starting to find that. And also the pitching, which we talked about as being one of the best, at least rotations in baseball. Their pitching has been a lot better as of late. Bullpen, not quite as good as the starting pitching, but Troy Melton has been awesome. And obviously, Skubal is going to do good, but Skubal's not the only guy that you feel like you're definitely going to probably maybe possibly get a win with. So things are going in the right direction. 5 weeks ago, they were at a 19% chance to make the playoffs, and now they're up to a 32% chance. So that's good too. Like, things are moving in the right direction for them. But yeah, I agree with you. I think somewhere in that 5 to 6 range, despite them being under 500, still feels pretty good.
You have them over Cleveland?
I think I do have them over Cleveland. Yeah, but don't tell Chris Rose. I think he might be mad at me.
Hit 7 homers against my Twins last night. I think 6 against Joe Ryan. It was a tough one. We're not going to get into it any more than that.
Not good.
So really, I guess in the comments, leave where you think the Tigers are. Yes. Are they better than Cleveland? Are they better than Seattle? Where do you got them? Don't forget, my guy Jack Flaherty is actually pitching a lot better. Their rotation is really lengthening out.
Yes, that's exactly right. What a difference, too. I mean, we're talking about the Cubs, who are 5th in the NL, and then a team that's under 500 is like 5th or 6th.
6 games under 500.
That's crazy. That's nuts.
Goodness. The state of baseball is very interesting right now. But, we talked about a little bit yesterday on Talking Baseball, Jake. It's why we play 162.
Right.
Like, a slow start isn't going to kill you because you can get
not.
hot like the Red Sox have gotten, and you can get hot like even the Orioles have gotten. So,
that's right.
We'll get into that a little bit later.
Yeah,
I do have to tell you a little bit about our friends at Sam Adams. This episode is sponsored by Samuel Adams. This summer, America turned 250 years old, and nobody's more ready to raise a glass than the beer named after a founding father himself, Samuel Adams. For the man who helped spark a revolution to the brand that's been brewing independence Since 1984, Sam Adams is leading the celebration all summer long. Crack open a summer ale, that crisp, citrusy wheat ale with a bright lemon finish that tastes like the 4th of July in a glass. Or grab the limited edition Star Spangled Variety Pack loaded with summer ale, porch rocker, American Light, and fan favorite blueberry lager. Look for the retro-inspired packaging at a store near you, because it isn't just another summer, it's America's 250th. So join the rally and raise a Sam for the founders, for the flavor, for 250 years of independence. Cheers to 250, America. This Sam's for you. Samuel Adams, the Boston Beer Company, Boston, Massachusetts. SamuelAdams.com. Savor the flavor responsibly. And if I was a good host, I would segue this into the Red Sox, but they're not up yet.
Right. That's
I
tough.
totally missed that one.
That's tough.
Son of a gun. But let's get into something fun. Terry Francona is straight up not having a good time. Reds not doing it this year. We get to the bottom of the 7th. He brings in Caleb Ferguson for the left-left matchup against the Seattle Mariners. Decides to intentionally walk him to load the bases for who? Cal freaking Raleigh.
Right.
Play it, Dan.
They are intentionally walking the left on left.
To get to Cal Raleigh hitting from the right side.
Fly ball! Blasted! Way back and gone! Grand slam, Cal Raleigh! Want a redo?
Want to redo is right. Now, Cal had been in an 0 for 15 little slump. He's been slumping all season long. Let's be real here. The homers haven't been there. Basically, none of the offensive stuff has been there. Dealing with an oblique, this happens, people. You got to make sure it's right. My question to you is, and we kind of just talked about this in Seattle and where they are. Do you think that's the swing that can get Cal Raleigh going?
I mean, when you put all of the context together, it sure could. I mean, that is so, it's tough because, like you said, Cal obviously hasn't had the year that he had last year, not even really remotely close. But walking the lefty-lefty matchup to face you, I would take that as some disrespect, and then being able to hit a grand slam, that could be the swing. And honestly, I hope it is the swing, because when Cal Raleigh is hitting the ball, well, baseball is more fun. So I sure hope it is. And yeah, I don't know. That's just, I don't know. I know he hasn't had a good year, but walking the lefty-lefty matchup is crazy.
I think you nailed it. That's what I was hoping you would say. It's not about hey, this guy figured something out in the cage, or mechanically, that he straightened himself out, or he's all of a sudden healthy because of this one swing. It is about the mental aspect here.
Yes.
It's about the disrespect. You're Cal Raleigh, coming off an MVP 2, 60 homer season. Look, you've been struggling, but still, to see a guy in front of you get walked, a couple things happen. Number one, you're like, shit, am I this bad? Am I this bad that somebody is in a lefty-lefty matchup in front of me is getting walked? And Ken Zone's been a little bit better against lefties this year. He's starting to play every single day. So whatever. But still, this is Cal Raleigh we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
You start to feel a little self-conscious of yourself. Yeah. And then you get up there, and then you get pissed. So there's as soon as that happens, this happened in front of me before. Someone gets walked in front of you. You're like, dang, I guess I stink because they're coming after me. And then you get mad and you're like, F that. I'm a guy. I'm going to show you. And you get a first pitch hanger. Yeah. I don't know if he's looking for that. I don't think he was. He's probably looking for anything out over the plate. Yeah. You get that swing, and that was not a cheap homer.
No.
That was hands inside the ball, extension, pulling the ball the right way. I think that, to me, when you talk about the mental side of it and just feeling the barrel like that, that could be something that gets him going. Yeah. It sparks that dog inside of Cal Raleigh again. And the Mariners surely need that, because they kind of have everything else.
Yeah.
They need him and Naylor to get going. Because if those guys don't, I don't care who you bring in the deadline. The lineup isn't good enough to withstand Josh Naylor and Cal Raleigh not hitting to kind of even close to where they have been in the past. So I do hope this gets him going, and I
Yeah.
think it might. Just the sheer mental aspect of it.
Yeah, without a doubt. And if you get a guy like Cal Raleigh or Josh Naylor or both hitting the ball remotely close to how they were last year, I mean, that's like getting 2 acquisitions at the deadline. So that would be
Don't
really,
say
really big.
that.
What?
You can't. We. I think there's a rule in baseball where you can't let the GM say, if we get these guys back, it's like making the best trade possible." The Yankees fans don't want to hear that either.
I mean, adding. I mean, it's adding more offense to your lineup. I guess does that make it better? I don't know. It's making your offense better, which is what they need.
Well, they need that big time.
Yeah.
The second part of this whole scenario, which is crazy, Caleb Ferguson, the guy that gives up the homer, later in the inning, I think the next ball hit is a ball off of his glove. He deflects it. It's a base hit. Here it is. Oh, no, not this one. We're showing you what happens after.
Right.
Bill Miller out there at second base. By the way, Bill Miller, just a very interesting guy. I actually had beers with him down in San Diego a random night when I was working the Padres Twins games. Me
Really?
and a couple of my buddies went to the Top Gun bar. He's holding court there. We sat there for like 3 or 4 hours
Hell yeah.
just talking shop. My friends love Bill Miller. So when I saw this happen, I was like, dude, that's our guy.
Right.
So if you can see, Bill Miller kind of is in the way. And here's what Caleb Ferguson has to say. Run that again. What did you say? Effing fat, you know what? Get out of the way. And then keep going. Fat MFer. Straight to Bill Miller's face.
Yeah.
You okay with that, Swill?
I am so far from okay with that. It's not like we're not even in the same stratosphere. Not even in the same stratosphere. I understand being frustrated. Okay. I get that aspect of it. You know, the bases were loaded. You give up a grand slam to Cal Raleigh, who hasn't been good all year. You know, and then you got more base runners coming on, and then, you know, Blue screws it all up. And I get being annoyed and frustrated. I get that. But that gives you absolutely no excuse to say something so rude to an umpire. Really, to anybody. You shouldn't say that to anybody. Just in normal life, you shouldn't be saying things like that. So I don't know. Obviously, like, they got their shit kicked in anyways. So doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. But yeah, I'm so far away from okay with this. I think this is so disrespectful.
Yeah, if you're a podcast only, well, there's clips out there.
Yeah.
And there's really no need for old John Boy on this one. Everybody can read the lips. I tried to look if there was a post-game presser with him, if he said anything after the game. Can you look for that, Dan? Because last night it was not up. But yeah, this is all just him being frustrated with himself.
Right.
And giving up the homer and where the Reds are at, you know, and it's just I understand the frustration, but bro, clean it up.
Right. Without a
Clean it
doubt.
up. Like,
And
you got a glove. Do the thing the pitcher's doing, yell on the glove.
right. Put your glove over your face. And on top of it, nobody feels worse than Bill Miller does already on top of it. You know, he feels like shit about that.
I might push back on that. I don't think Bill Miller feels anything.
You don't think so?
He's just like, it's part of the game. Sorry.
I mean, sure, but I'm sure if he
But
could go
that
back
happens.
and change
That
it, he
happens
probably
more
would
often
do
than
it.
we think it does. So
Yeah.
it's just I normally I would agree with you there, but Bill Miller is just he's a different cat.
Okay, so who he is as a person.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
I guess I'm trying to think if he's gonna ump the game at all.
Oh,
So that was
sure.
he might actually.
He
He'll be
might.
at first base tonight and then behind the plate on
Wednesday.
Whoa. Caleb Ferguson, watch out. You might have to use a lot of your challenges, Caleb. Just so you know. All right. That was fun. What do you got, Dan? No post-game comments from old Caleb Ferguson. I'd assume he might say something, or maybe he sent an apology. I
I
don't
would
know.
hope so.
You can't be going around doing that. Thank goodness, I guess, for ABS if you're Caleb Ferguson, because if not, you'd be getting a lot of strikes called balls, dude. That's just the name of the game.
Yeah, it's
Bill Miller's like one of like the longest tenured umpires that we have in baseball. He doesn't. Yeah. Okay.
it's crazy stuff.
Dan, do I have an ad to read now? Speaking about being one of the vets in the game, let's talk about T-Mobile. This episode is sponsored by T-Mobile. Whether you're on the go or at the ballpark, T-Mobile is built to keep you connected wherever the game takes you. With America's best network, you know your phone is going to work, even in a crowded stadium. We had to deal with this, Swill Nation, at the Home Run Derby. T-Mobile out there, we are able to send all of our posts, all of our tweets, and whatever else we send out there, all thanks to T-Mobile, because they have such great service. Anybody who's been to a big game knows the feeling. Your team, it's a walk-off. Everybody's trying to text, post, or send videos at the exact same time, and suddenly your phone won't load anything. Or when you're trying to stream the game while traveling and the feed keeps buffering at the worst possible moment. Those are the moments that matter to real baseball fans, and a drop signal shouldn't be the reason you miss any of them. T-Mobile's network is built specifically to handle all of it. Packed stadiums, big moments, no problem. Find out how baseball hits different with T-Mobile at T-Mobile.com/MLB. Fastest based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data of national speed score results second half 2025. Best based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data second half of 2025.
Huge.
Let's move on to the Commonwealth, where the Red Sox did it. 14 in a row. This time, Caleb Durbin was the hero. In a back-and-forth game with the surging Orioles, Durbin went deep in the eighth to put the Sox up for good.
Swinging a high fly ball left field. This is deep. Back it goes. Yes, sir. It's out of here. Home run. Line drive, caught! Jan catches it, and that's 14 in a row, baby! The Red Sox keep on rolling, 6-5.
Dan, you got to show. Do you have the booth cam? All right, he's going to grab it. This is the Red Sox, and Fenway's just going off right now. And this is a team that had a problem playing at home early on in the season, couldn't find a victory anywhere. All of a sudden, the place is packed. Look at Craig Breslow having just a hell of a time. He was in the dumps about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
People calling for his head. Now he's the walk of the town. I don't even know if that's the right way to say that.
Talk of the town.
What is it?
Talk of the town?
Talk of the town?
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe that's it. Yeah. I don't know. Sometimes sayings just aren't my thing.
Sure.
I'll give you a Chris Rose question real quick, then we'll get to the real one. Kyle Bradish versus Ranger Suarez tonight. They're 1 win away from tying the franchise record winning streak at 15. Do the Red Sox get there?
I mean, for the sake of baseball, yes. Yes. Why not? Right? I don't know.
These are the type of questions I have to answer all the time, Swilly. Okay, look at
How did I do?
I'm always like, Chris, I don't know. Maybe they win.
And then when I say I don't know and I'm with him, he goes, "No, you're pulling a Plouffe. You got to give me a straight answer." So I can't win.
Swinging a high fly ball left field. This is deep. Back it goes. Yes, sir. It's out of here. Home run.
Look at my doppelganger, Will Middlebrooks, right there.
That's right.
Going nuts. Okay, so the matchup tonight is Kyle Bradish. Kyle being Bradish versus Ranger Suarez, who comes back off the IL tonight. I think the momentum is just too hot right now. I really do. And the way they're winning games, it's been with their starting pitching. It's been these late inning comebacks, which they weren't doing at the end. You know, even there in the ninth, Aroldis Chapman trouble on the base pass, but a line drive that surely is going to score 1 to tie the game, possibly score 2 to give up the lead. Goes right to the shortstop. It's just like it's going their way right now. They're riding the wave of the momentum. So this is the real question I wanted to ask you. I kind of got you on that Chris Rose one.
Whatever.
Is the division in play for them? 6 games out right now. Rays heading in the wrong direction. Yankees banged up.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I mean, you said it. Things are kind of just going the Red Sox way right now, right? They were so bad. I don't remember exactly what the stat was. I'm sure there's a Red Sox fan in the comments that can correct me, but they were like 0 and like 25, 0 and 30, something crazy like that when a team went up by 2 runs. Oh, like maybe 1 win thrown in there. I don't remember the exact stat, but they were so bad. They couldn't score runs, and their starting pitching wasn't good, and Garrett Crochet got hurt, so now he's not there anymore. And like you said, everything's just kind of going their way right now. Now, you ride the wave for as long as you can, of course, but eventually I do think that it's going to even out a little bit. I think that a lot of things have changed for the Reds organization in the last 3 weeks, like you said. Now you go by, right? I mean, going into the trade deadline, which is however many days away now, 2 weeks away, 13 days away. I mean, what are you going to do? Not buy? A month and a half ago, Red Sox fans were wearing paper bags on their heads. And now they're potentially going to win 15 in a row. But I don't know if the division is in play. I do think that they have a great shot to make a good run here, and maybe get one of those wild card spots and keep it. But I don't know about the division. I'll be honest.
I think the division is 100%.
Really? I don't
do.
know.
Before the season, I had the Red Sox ranked very highly. I just like the roster they put together. I like the moves they did in the offseason. Now, the pitching has been better than I could have anticipated. This is without Garrett Crochet, who really has like no timetable to return, which is kind of sad. He had some quotes about dealing with all of it. He did say silver lining. He gets to be at home and be a dad, which is nice. But Red Sox faithful are like, hey, can you come back and pitch for us? Although, like, again, they don't really need that. The pitching staff has been great.
Yeah.
I do expect them to go do something at the deadline.
They
don't know what it exactly they're going to do because they have such an interesting roster. I think the division, like, it's not like, of course it's in play. I think the Rays, I don't want to say they overachieved for a while, but they kind of hit their hot streak. And now they're kind of coming back to where I believe they are as a team. The Yankees are, look, there's no timetable for Giancarlo Stanton. We don't know when Judge is coming back. Like, are they going to get better at some point? Yeah, but like I don't exactly know when that's going to be. I think Boston can catch them in the meantime. There's no doubt about it. Yankees are 1.5 games back. It would shock me. It would shock me if the Red Sox were not within, I don't know, 2 games of the division entering September. Like, I think it's going to be a race in that last month of the season. And I'm happy this happened, man, because they did. Yeah. Look, they didn't get the trade away Devers. All these things happen, and people were mad at the team. They didn't get Pete Alonso, but they did make some really good moves. And Contreras has been, I said this yesterday because we talked about the Red Sox yesterday because they keep winning.
Right.
I think Contreras and Sonny Gray, the 2 guys that came over from St. Louis, really kept this team kind of like together and kept the edge of this team, even when they were losing.
Yeah.
Where, you know, on the offensive side of the Red Sox, there's some young players out there, guys with not a ton of experience. Now, you know, Abreu, Rafaela, and Duran have been around for some time, but I think Contreras being there and being, you know, an emotional kind of leader has really helped them and kept everyone's focus on like, hey, we can do this. Without him, I don't think they make this turnaround. I don't think I don't think the energy is there to do it. So you got to give credit to them. I 100% think the division's in play.
I mean, I say this every episode when I'm on here. Baseball is a funny sport. I'm not going to say that there is a 0% chance. I just don't think that they win the division. But
who wins the division?
Not them. I don't know.
Well, tell me who. I'm going to Chris Rose you right now. Tell me who.
Rose me. Don't Chris Rose me.
Are you talking Rays? Are you talking Yanks? Do you think the Yanks are going to get there?
I think that the Yanks are going to get there. Although they'd have to make the right moves at the deadline, I think, because like you said, there are guys where we don't really have a timetable of when they're going to return, and they have holes that they can fix. I just, like you said about the Rays hit their hot streak and now they're kind of coming back down to earth. I don't know. I've watched the Red Sox play a lot of bad baseball, and obviously this isn't going to sustain. And you need some of these other guys to still pick it up. Jarren Duran is still not having a good year. Like, you need a guy like him to still pick it up. And I don't know, so Jake Bennett, bad start to the year. Obviously, he's a rookie, bad start, but he's been great as of late, his last 5 starts. Does he sustain that? Like, you need some of these things to still they need to keep firing for the rest of the year. And I just am not sure if they're going to keep firing for the rest of the year.
Nice Jake Bennett shout out. I don't think they're going to obviously win out or like have another 15 gamer, 14 gamer. I do think that they're reaching a sustainable level of baseball. Like they're going to play over 500 for the rest of the season. I don't think there's actually not even a question in my mind. Maybe we should make a bet on that. Over 500 rest of the season, July 21st on. What do you think?
I mean, I guess if you want to make a bet on it, I guess but I do think that they stay above 500.
Okay. I was going to make you wear a Dodger hat or something if they did.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I would never. I'd rather pay you than wear a Dodger hat.
All right. That's enough Red Sox talk. Jeez, we shouted out Will Middlebrooks. What else? Who else we got to shout out over there? Let's move on to another team that people just love to talk about. This is the Phillies and the Dodgers.
Yes.
Phillies, they take game 1 from the Dodgers 10-7. It was an adventurous day, to say the least, for our guy Trey Turner, my favorite player. I have like a lot of favorite players, but he's one.
Yeah, you do.
He struggled defensively, but he did hit 2 homers to get to 200 for his career. Meanwhile, here's some Trey homers. Love the swing, the extension. That's America's shortstop, people, or at least he was at one point. Meanwhile, in Milwaukee, the Brewers faced an old pal in Freddie Peralta. They were nice before the game, nice ovation, some video board stuff. But then when the lights turned on, the Brewers' bats turned on him. Miz looked great in a purposely short outing, and the Brewers won 8-3 against the New York Mets. Sorry, Jolly Olive, your Mets stink.
Sorry, Joel.
They do. Hey, who's the best team? Who's the worst team? Angels, Mets, or Twins?
The Angels.
I know it ain't my team.
It's the Angels. I can't even like make a joke or try to. No, it's the Angels. The Angels are a bad baseball team. I love them though.
Hold on, what's the records here before we get into this question? The Mets are 42-59, so they're 2 games ahead of your Angels, who are 40-61.
We got to 40 wins, guys. We did it.
Let's go.
Huge.
Here's another Chris Rose question for you.
No, that's 3 Chris Rose questions in one.
I know. I love doing this. I love it. Now I understand why he does it. The Dodgers, if you remember last year, eliminated both of these teams in the playoffs. In the DS, they took out the Phillies. And then in the CS, they took out the Brewers. So if you had to choose one of these 2 teams between the Brewers or the Phillies to take down the 2-time champs this year, who are you picking and why?
I mean, I hate this because I don't think either of them do. Like, I just don't. Like, I just don't.
That can be your answer.
Okay, good. That's my answer then, because it still blows my mind when you look at the Dodgers and you look at their stats and how they stack up with the rest of the league and how they are consistently top 5, maybe top 7 in like every category to ever exist on both sides of the ball. It's so insane to watch and to see. And it's just nuts. The Dodgers are so good. So I don't see either of these teams doing it. I will say this though, talking about maybe not stats stuff, I do really like that the Phillies have faced a lot of adversity this year. And I think that when a team faces a lot of adversity, it kind of gives them a little bit of an edge. And I'm not saying that I think the Phillies could take the Dodgers out, but I don't know. You see how things go going into the end of the season, and I could see it maybe happening. Baseball is a funny sport, but my answer is still neither of them.
Well, I'll be brave because one of us has to be brave.
Okay, you do it.
Not only do I think the Phillies
Mm.
can take the Dodgers out, I think they will take the Dodgers out
Wow.
of the postseason. In my preseason bracket, I have the Phillies going to the World Series, losing to the Mariners, which is an interesting. I feel like there's still a shot for all that to go down, depending on the deadline. I do think if the Brewers wanted to be that team, I've said this for the last month or so, they need to go get somebody that they need some homers.
Without a doubt.
They need a right-handed pop,
Yep.
guys that can hit homers, because that was their problem. They're still 30th in all of baseball in home runs.
Yep.
I know they're scoring runs. They're doing just fine with that. They're doing it in different ways. I love this Brewers team. I truly do. And if they go out and make moves at the deadline, and if they go, I mean, Scuba was the big thing people were talking about for a while.
Right.
That's not going to happen.
Mm-mm.
If they go get some bullpen help and maybe they'll find that right-handed bat, you know, they have moves that they can make. Maybe I'll change my tune, but right now it's the Phillies to me. I have a couple of reasons why. You got to hit homers in the playoffs. The Phillies can
Yes.
hit homers in the playoffs. Now, look, we've seen them go cold in the playoffs.
Yep.
And that's kind of like the give and take with a team that scores runs with homers. Sometimes pitching is going to win. You're going to swing and miss. But I do think they have the offense to go toe-to-toe with the Dodgers. And then the big equalizer for me is Christopher Sanchez.
Mm.
If they can face the Dodgers and Christopher Sanchez can pitch twice, I think they can win the series. He has great numbers against Shohei Ohtani. They were talking about that last night on the broadcast. You know, and you have to neutralize him. You truly do. I think that's going to be the biggest test. You have back in the bullpen that I like with the Phillies. We have the homers and we have Christopher Sanchez. So I think this is the Phillies' year. I would love for them to win the World Series, Philly, because I think this core and this roster they've put together is so fun.
Yes.
And they really have put the chips in on the table.
Yes.
Now it hasn't worked out, as we know. Last 2 years out in the divisional round. But I want them to win with Bryce freaking Harper.
Of course.
I want it.
Of course.
Again, had the Mariners preseason, but I do think the Phillies get past the Dodgers. I think they slay the dragon and they save baseball because then everyone will shut up
of course.
about the salary cap.
Yeah.
So go Phillies, go.
Okay. I like that. You know, I see, and I agree. It just feels like the more like gritty, like, I don't know. I get what you're saying. I think
they're not gritty. These guys are rich as hell too.
Yeah. Okay. I'm talking about how they started the year so bad.
Okay.
They faced adversity. Obviously, like, you know, Don Mattingly comes in, and you know, I mean, that's a guy that can come in and make a difference in like the locker room and stuff like that. But I don't know. And I also think the Brewers have been playing baseball this way for a few years now, and it just the same thing happens. And it's like, what's the definition of insanity, right? I don't know. You have to go get a guy or two that can go hit home runs. You just have to. Like, I don't know. The teams that you face in the National League in the playoffs, you have to have that. It hasn't worked out for them.
I think Miz is a difference maker this year because he was not
Yes.
the Mizorowski we have come to know and love this year. He
Yes.
kind of started out that way last year. Towards the end, they kind of he just wasn't. He wasn't what he is now. And they're like trying to keep him this way. That's why he only pitched 4 innings last night. They're trying to limit the innings so he's available and ready to go during October. He is an equalizer just like Christopher Sanchez. He can face a team twice and really do it. So, like, do I think the Brewers can also mix it up with the Dodgers? Yes, I do. I think offensively, again, the homers is a thing for me. So I'm picking the Phillies in this exercise. Here's another little thought process for us.
Okay.
Because you said Philly's gritty. And I think a lot of people think, oh, Dodgers, Hollywood, big time, Philadelphia, gritty, you know. What if we just swap teams and put the roster of the Phillies in LA and the Dodgers in Philly? Would we have the same, like, would Shohei Ohtani all of a sudden be just like this gritty dude and Mookie Betts would just be like, you know what I mean? Like Bryce Harper, if he was in LA, would be so Hollywood. But he picked Philadelphia.
Yeah,
Like in an alternate universe, like Trey Turner, oh my gosh, so handsome.
true.
They'd all be like movie stars out here. So the uniform really changes people.
Mm,
Think about that,
okay.
everybody.
All right. I can see where you're coming from. I don't know. Some of these guys, I don't know, but I could see it for a few of them.
Would Brandon Marsh still look like Brandon Marsh if he was in LA, or would he be like faded up, clean cut jawline guy?
Yeah, I don't know about that one. Marshy might have not been a good example.
Yeah, I don't know. He played for your Angels. He didn't have the beard
Yes, he did.
the whole time.
Maybe not his first year, but
Yeah,
he grew the beard while he was in Anaheim
yeah,
and the
sure.
long hair and all the wet hair and all the things. So
LA is not what everyone thinks it is, right, Swill?
it's fine.
Oh, don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. LA is great. All right, people, relax on LA. Okay. Speaking of relaxing, I want you to relax and listen to me talk about Fanatics Market. This episode is brought to you by Fanatics Markets, where fans trade on sports. It's simple. You just pick a game and choose an outcome, like which team will win, which player will hit a home run, and more. It's time to get involved in the action. Then buy contracts based on what you think will happen. Yes, if you think it will. No, if you don't. Buy as many as you want, sell if the price moves in your favor, or you let them settle when the event ends. And Fanatics Markets just got even more rewarding with Fan Cash. Now you can earn up to 10% Fan Cash on your trades, win or lose. Use it across the Fanatics ecosystem for things like trade credit, authentic apparel, collectibles, tickets, and more. Fan Cash is Fanatics' currency of sport, connecting trading, merchandise, collectibles, and experiences all in one place. Trade, earn Fan Cash, and unlock more with Fanatics Markets. Event contracts carry risks of total loss and changing prices, not good for all investors. Now available in all states. Must be 21 plus. See important disclosures in Fanatics Markets app. Customers are introduced to Crypto.com by Paragon Global Markets LLC, DBA Fanatics Markets IB, an introducing broker registered with the CFTC and a member of the NFA. I mean, what an ad read that was. All right, so let's get off of baseball for a little bit here, okay? We talk a lot about baseball. It's 162 and 180 people. Let's every once in a while we'll go off the rails a little bit. You, Sully Deportes, started in rooting for Team Mexico. That's when Sully Deportes became a
Yes.
thing, right?
Oh my gosh, yes. I remember it
Yeah.
like it was just yesterday.
So shout out Mexico. Big
Always.
Mexico fan right here.
Always, yes.
And now you've turned into this major, I'm going to call it soccer because I'm American, this major soccer fan.
Okay. Yeah.
First with Erling Haaland
Mhm.
and Team Norway in the World Cup.
Mhm.
And now you're a Man City fan.
That's right.
So tell us a little bit about the soccer fandom and how it started.
Oh my. Well, it all started when I was scrolling on Twitter early in the World Cup. And I saw this man that looks like a actual Viking, except he is super Gen Z and posts on Snapchat and is also like one of the best strikers in the World Cup, potentially in all of football. And I loved that he had so much personality, but was also a really good athlete. And so I was like, who is this guy? So it's Erling Haaland. I watched him play in the World Cup a few times and I was like, yeah, this is my guy. Like for me, there's nothing that I love more when an athlete is not afraid to like show off their personality, be themselves unapologetically, but then when they're playing their sport, they're also one of the best to ever do it. He's very easy to fall in love with. Obviously, so many people in America and around the world fell in love with this guy. And therefore, I have now decided because, well, I watched him play soccer and actually the sport isn't too bad now that I'm taking the time to sit down and watch it. I'm going to start watching more soccer because the World Cup was incredible. And he plays for Manchester City, which is in the Premier League. And so I decided, well, this is going to be the team that I root for now. So here we are. The Premier League starts in about 4 weeks. So I have about 4 weeks to figure out exactly what's going on with Manchester City, some of their history, some of their good players, all that stuff. But I'm excited to, watch a new sport and have something to do in the offseason when there's no baseball. So, yeah.
If you had to compare Manchester City to a Major League Baseball team,
Right.
who would you compare them to?
Why are you smiling?
This is a gotcha question.
Yeah, I bet, with your little glasses and your little smile, right? So let me tell you a little bit about Manchester City. Just broad spectrum. They didn't really have a ton of success for most of their, I guess that most of the time that they've been around until the late 2000s, I believe. I believe they got a new owner. And after that, they kind of just started winning a lot more. I think it's kind of hard for me to explain because I'm not a pro, but the way that it works is there's different levels in each league. And as your team gets better or worse, they like go up and down these rankings. So if you like are really bad, then you get relegated to the league that's lower. I think they were in the third tier at one point, and then they eventually worked their way up to the like number one, like the Premier League. And they won the whole thing from 2021 to 2024. Their new owners spent a lot more money. They got a lot of really good players. They didn't win last year, which is kind of surprising, apparently, to a lot of people. Obviously, I didn't watch, so this is just I'm going off of hearsay, right? So, and now you have this guy Erling Haaland who is bringing a ton of new soccer fans. Are you included in that, or do you have a question?
I just we got to get to the point here.
No,
So
no,
the
no.
question,
I'm getting the stage.
okay, because I'm gonna read something here.
Okay, well, let me make this last point.
Okay.
Erling Haaland is bringing a lot of new soccer or new people to soccer because he is one of the best soccer players, or at least one of the best strikers in the world. Similar to I don't know if you've heard of Shohei Ohtani, but he's kind of done the same thing. So all of that being said, I've seen some comments saying that they're like the Dodgers of the Premier League. But who's to really say, Trev?
I typed in, if you had to compare Manchester City to an MLB team, who would they be? Manchester City is most often compared to the Los Angeles Dodgers in baseball.
Right.
Swilly Deportes, welcome to the dark side. Wow, the lovable Angels fan turns
right.
to the dark side.
That's right. Yeah. And on top of all that too, I'm learning that a lot of people don't really like Manchester City. So
You're essentially a Yankee fan / Dodger fan of the football world.
Yankees / Dodgers, you're gonna put
Yeah, I think it's kind of a mixture of
fans?
both right there. Yeah.
That's crazy. I don't accept that personally.
Such a good one by me. Yes.
Yeah, I bet it was. Did you have fun?
I just wanted to hear you say that they're compared to the Dodgers.
So
Because
what?
you have such a distaste for that LA team, which I do not. I enjoy the Dodgers.
I'm happy for you.
But go Twins, go. I'm a Tottenham Spurs guy, so I stick to the bottom.
Yes, you do. That's right.
Let's go Birds. I say that all the time to my friend who's a real Spurs fan. I'm like, let's go Birds. He's like, they don't say that.
I don't
they
think they say
should.
that either.
They should.
Yeah, okay. And then you say that all the time, and then you sound like an Eagles fan. So pick your poison.
You know I'm a Rams guy. All right.
Matthew Stafford, shout out.
What a beautiful show we did today. Swilly Deportes,
True.
thank you for coming on, sharing all your baseball insight. Dodgers fan, sort of adjacent.
Don't ever
We'll go
say
with
that again.
We'll go with that.
No, I don't think we're going to go with that, actually.
Put that
I
down.
disagree.
Dodgers fan adjacent. We do appreciate you. So for myself, Coach Trev, Swilly Deportes, and super producer Dan Rourke, we will see you tomorrow on Baseball Today.